While you're relaxing and waiting for the next show to begin, visit our snack bar. The next show will start in 5 minutes. The next show will start in 4 minutes. The next show will start in 3 minutes. The next show will start in 2 minutes. The next show will start in 1 minute.
And now, on with the show. Ta-ta-da-da, hello, I'm Brian May. From the neck up. Works like wood, lasts like stone. Yes, folks, it's asbestos, and it's fireproof. 1953, wow. Greetings from the Stevie Coyle Valerie May high-tech video production and webcast facility / spare bedroom at our house. This is our Monday night thing, which, since Ducky and I are re-binge watching The Sopranos, we should absolutely clarify is not the thing that they call our thing. Capiche? Good. It's Monday, excuse me, still Monday, April 26th. And even though it's nobody's birthday around here, unlike the past couple of weeks, we'd like to send happy birthday greetings to Jet Li, action actor Jet Li, who's 58, Carol Burnett, who's turning 88, how about that, and the wife of a former resident of the White House who is, who cares? I looked these all up on a website called famousbirthdays.com, and I'm not proud to tell you, but I feel somehow confessional anyway. There was a list of 48 television, movie, YouTube, and TikTok stars. And those are the three names that I actually recognize, 3 out of 48. What percentage is that? That's miserable percent. I'm so out of it. But even worse, absolutely worse, not even arguably worse, I find I'm actually rather snootily proud of my ignorance. Oh. So that's what that feels like. Interesting. Suddenly, I guess I can see the appeal a little bit. So informative. We have, folks, we have a very special guest tonight. So I'm especially glad you tuned in. National fingerpicking champion Eric Lugosch will be joining us tonight. He'll be along in just a few minutes. And he really is nobody you or your guitar-loving nears and dears would want to miss. So it's not too late for those of you joining us on Facebook to share this webcast to your own Facebook wall or timeline. Thank you very much. Or whatever we're calling it now, the wall or the timeline, whatever. You friends tuning in via YouTube, YouTubers, you spuds, please consider subscribing to this channel. There's a little subscribe box there. And maybe even ticking the little bell icon to get rudely interrupted whenever this channel goes live. That'd be great. Miss Valerie and I, and in fact, let me introduce executive producer Miss Valerie May. We get out of detention on Wednesday. That'll be 2 weeks past shot number 2. We'll still mask up and we'll still keep our distance, our social distance, but we'll be somewhat less terrified of going off the property. These past 13 months have really, if nothing else, have been good practice for being old people. We haven't gone anywhere. We haven't done anything. We've made very occasional trips to Golden Gate Park, just kind of walking around slowly, avoiding people, clucking our tongues at bad behavior by young people mostly. So we're getting in shape for our dotage, huh, Ducky? Yeah. But we ain't there yet. So look out, world. We're just going to go crazy this week and actually go see some friends play music outdoors in a public place. My God. We might even eat some food that isn't home cooked. Imagine that. I'm sure you can imagine that very easily, Ducky. Been cooking for 13, 14 months now. Pretty wild, huh? We press on. Whichever platform you're joining us on, please do feel free to make your presence known by typing in a question or a comment. The big question this week is whether or not, and we really would appreciate your answers to this, whether or not we should move the showtime up to 6 o'clock Pacific time to better accommodate the East Coasters, those East Coasters of a certain age for whom 9 o'clock is the new midnight. What do you think? As always, we're busking tonight. Donations are not expected, but they are hugely welcome, so surprise us. Eric and I will split all of these proceeds right here. Here are the magic links. The magic number is 20 on both PayPal and Venmo, so you PayPals and Venmofos, those are the links right there. Thank you very much. As always, the magic number around here is 20. With any $20 tip jar donation, folks, you get a free CD. Just like that. It's my 10-in-1 CD, and there it is. Thank you very much. Now, if you do donate $20, please type in your mailing address so that I can expedite the shipping of your free $20 CD. You get not only me, but Mike Marshall, Philip Auberg, Kendrick Freeman, Teresa Taduri, Corinne West, Sam Bevan, Hank Roberts, on cello, Kit Walker, on keys, and percussion, and Walter Strauss on guitar and vocals and production, among others. It's a whole lot of people packed into one little CD. Tonight's episode is brought to you by all kinds of products. As you perhaps saw in the countdown at the top of the show, the 1954 Ford, General Tire was in there, a self-bailing outboard motor, Bactine, and Mother's Kisses make things better. But even though it works like wood and lasts like stone, we'd steer you away from the asbestos flex board. Just a hint. And our show tonight is also sponsored by a burger chain, which shall remain nameless. But we've got a commercial coming up that features a face you just might recognize. Are we ready, Ducky? I guess we're ready. Let's fire this puppy up. Play something real quick, and then we'll get Eric Lugosch out here. Here's a brand new one. Brand new to me, anyway. That old car would like to break your heart, but she's too damn old to even start. Take it from one who knows, son, you don't want to get you one of those. Well, she's always been as mean as she appears, ain't done no rock and rollin' in years. They should put her in a crusher, I suppose. You don't want to get you one of those. Leave her over there behind the barn where she'll be out of the way. She's got chassis rot, the gearbox is shot. She's had her day. It's all over for that old heap. She needs a whole lot more than beauty sleep. If you want to get you one that goes, you don't want to get you one of those. Leave her over there behind the barn where she'll be out of the way. She's got chassis rot, the gearbox is shot. She's had her day. It's all over for that old heap. She needs a whole lot more than beauty sleep. If you want to get you one that goes, you don't want to get you one of those. You don't want to get you one of those. Oh. What's banging around in the back of my brain there? Singing in the bathtub, singing all alone, tearing out a tonsil just like a baritone. Never take a shower, it's an awful pain. Singing in the shower's like singing in the rain. Oh, there's dirt to be abolished, but don't forget one thing. While the body's washed and polished, sing, brother, sing. You can yodel opera, even while you scrub. Everybody's happy when singing in the tub. work in progress, aren't they all? Aren't they all? Ladies and gentlemen, I promised you Eric Lugosch tonight. He's in the green room. He's getting ready. He's putting the final touches on his makeup. You just never know, folks, how a quick YouTube search, what it might dredge up. Every once in a while, I would go searching for this thing. And Duck, you'll need to run the volume up on this one quite a lot because the audio, folks, is awful. But if you look real quick at the hero in this, as the commercial people say, keep an eye on the character in the photo at the top of the calendar. That's right. Go ahead and roll it, Ducky.
Right now, McDonald's is making every month more interesting. How? By offering you the big taste of a different burger every month. And we're calling it Burger of the Month. And who's the lucky burger this month? The Double Cheeseburger. Add a large fry, a medium Coke, and look, it's the Double Cheeseburger Extra Value Meal, only $2.99. So hurry on down to McDonald's for your Burger of the Month. And next month, there'll be another delicious one waiting. See you then. What you know is what you get at McDonald's today.
Ay, ay, ay. Wow. That, thank you, 1993, for that their commercial right there. That was yours truly in 1993, a mere 28 years ago. And gee, it seems like only 27. Well, as usual, folks, here we go from the ridiculous to the sublime. Folks, I am proud as punch to introduce a National Fingerstyle Guitar Champion, of course, but also a singer, a songwriter, a teacher, a fingerpicker's fingerpicker, a touring musician who has graced the stage of Mighty Fine Guitars right here in bucolic Lafayette, California, and a hell of a good guy. Folks, please make welcome Eric Lugosch.
Eric introducing me.
And there he is.
Thank you,
Eric. Have we got you on audio?
Camera to go this way.
Have we got audio
yeah, we
and video?
did. Yes, we do. Keep the wrong direction, dear. We changed because we didn't want the heat thermostat in the way, so we changed east-west and keep on going this direction. Yeah, that's good. That's good. No, you had it before. Keep on going.
Your other left.
Keep on. There, you keep them more.
There you go. Believe it or not, that's great.
That's good.
Eric, who is your production assistant
even
there?
a little more. Kathleen Ann Spears.
Thank you, Kathleen.
4680. That's her birthday. And you can pay me later. No, she's helping me out. And my lovely wife, Kathleen. And you got my name correctly.
How about that?
It's nice being here, Steve.
This is great.
Nice being here.
Haven't laid eyes on you since you played at Mighty Fine Guitars Low those many years ago. However many that was.
4.
That sounds about right. I'll go with that.
I think about 4 years ago, yeah.
I think that's about right. Right. Well, gee, Eric, what you been doing the past year or so?
Well, I was listening to you, and we all have projects, and my last gig was the day after my birthday, which was March 14th is my birthday. And the last gig I had, real gig, was that weekend, and that got canceled.
Aye.
And so I started a project because I make furniture as a hobby, and I make flying models too. This is one of my favorite. But rubber band flying models.
Oh yeah, sure.
So are you familiar with Vance Gilbert?
Sure, Vance Gilbert, you bet.
Yeah. Oh, he's one of the top 3 model builders in the world.
I had no idea.
Rubber band models. Look up his flying models. Yes. Look up Vance Gilbert rubber powered planes, and he's really what can I call? He's a hero.
And a hell of a musician.
And a hell of a musician, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Eric,
I got to play with him at the Old Town School of Music years ago, and that's how everything kind of came together.
Now, did he get you hooked on that, or were you already a rubber band
powered?
powered?
I was always hooked on that, and my dad was an aeronautical engineer, and I was always hooked on that. But what happened was I stopped when I bought my house. I just couldn't stand furniture from IKEA anymore, so I started building my own furniture because I couldn't afford the good stuff. And so this past year, this was my Michelangelo 16th chapel project. I made a desk with a hutch, and there's a wood burning. I call it my cuckoo desk, and I'm just finishing that up. It's taken just a year. I have a picture of it here, and
When will you
I'll
make an
show
end, Buonarroti? When will you make an end?
I don't know. Hopefully in a few months. But here, I'll try to share it with the camera.
Sure.
I'm going to do my best. Here's the desk. Let me see if I can get. Yeah, there's the desk. Wait a second. Wait, give me a second.
Yeah, yeah.
There.
Oh,
can
look
you
at
see
that.
it?
Now it's coming in. Yeah.
Wrong
Yeah.
direction. I'm time delayed here.
That's
But
lovely.
there's a burning of a cuckoo in there, and let me get you that because that's the most important thing.
Now you haven't, you've never built a guitar.
No, everybody asked me that, but
Of course.
that's a cuckoo bird,
Wow, look at that. Wow.
and my friend did that, and it's a wood burning.
What a trip.
Yeah. So
All this and he plays
that's
guitar too, folks.
well, yeah, it's been tough for everybody, but Steve, your show has really helped a lot of people out, and I just admire the breadth of talent you've gotten there, the diversity just blows me away.
I just send
And,
emails out and some people say yes, it's great. It's sort
yeah,
of a shotgun approach to talent gathering, and I'm glad you said yes, because, folks, Eric here is way too self-effacing to describe himself as such, but I think lots of people, in fact, when I told people, other picker pals of mine, that you were going to be on, they said, oh man, Eric is a picker's picker, and it's kind of true. So what you got on the musical front for us tonight, Eric?
well, I'm going to play something. I'm going to play a whole variety of stuff, but you got me inspired because I've heard you play. Um, I have heard you play a lot of Beatle arrangements, and I've heard you play original stuff, and I really admire your original composition. So I'm going to play some new original stuff.
Cool.
But this is a Beatles tune I'm going to start off here with because I like the way you play the Beatles, and this is a less known one that was on my last CD, which was called Sun, which I'll talk about in a minute. But
Ah, terrific.
uh, I'm going to do it. This is called I Will.
Excellent, excellent. Folks, Eric Lugosch. Just tremendous. Just tremendous, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Lovely arrangement. Man, oh man. I love it when it's so cool that my brain just gives up and goes, I don't know what he's doing, but I dig it a ton. Usually I'm sort of, oh, he's doing this and he's doing that and he's doing this. I'm just sort of saying, wow, that's fantastic. I love it. Great stuff. Eric,
Do you hear that, dear?
That's right. Yes, dear. I'm here to testify, dear. Eric, would you mind asking your production assistant, one of them, to take your camera angle down a little bit? We've got a lot of guitarists screaming to see more of your left hand.
Kathy, could you put my camera angle down? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'll pay you later.
Get it in writing, Kathy.
He said get it in writing. Yeah, he wants it so they can see my hands more.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I really like that that piece of music quite a bit, and we're working on the camera angle right there. We go. That's better, right?
That's a little better. We've lost the top of your head, but maybe as long as we can see your eyeballs, we're okay. Maybe split the difference a little bit there, Kat.
Can you split the difference, you said? Yes, we're moving the camera back. That's good, right there. I think that's better,
something like that. That'll be pretty good. Good. You've just made a bunch of guitar players very, very happy. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Stevie.
just with that camera angle. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions I know the answer to, but a lot of folks don't. Can you give us a little rundown on early life influences, where you lived, where you didn't, how you got started, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, well, I still remember the first thing I played on the guitar, but that all came, my two oldest brothers went to Vietnam, and they were influential. They actually brought me up, my oldest brother, Emil, and my brother, Carl, but they were quite a bit older than me. They were 1967. They went into the service, and they were both on the same ship. They were on brother duty on the same ship. And one brother was a radio man and the other was a corpsman. And when they left, the third floor of the house I grew up in, I moved up there. And the record collection for my brother Emil was outstanding. I mean, I just started listening to. He had all the Mississippi John Hurt, but besides that, he had Miles Davis, and he had John Coltrane, and he had David Brubeck. He just had so much fantastic music to listen to, and I still remember that, like earning my first money for records from doing lawn, mowing lawns. And the first record I got was Snoopy and the Red Baron. But after that, it was Can't Hurry Love by the Supremes. Was at 45, and then I got Cheap Thrills from Janis Joplin. And the thing was, so my brothers were still away in the service till 1971. So between then, 67 and then, I was actually a first soprano in a professional boys choir, like a school, the Singing Boys of America in Princeton, the Columbus Boy Choir, and the Philadelphia Boys Choir, which was an all-city choir. So I was singing in choirs, and I went first soprano, second soprano, alto. But we sang with orchestras, and I was listening to Benjamin Britten and singing that. So I sort of got an idea of what pitch was about, but I didn't really dig that music per se. I like it now, but I like it now. But a natural competition happens when you're singing next to a kid with you. You don't want to be flat you know. So my to upset my mom is I could copy Janis Joplin note for note in Cheap Thrills, you know. I could really sing it,
That's
and
fantastic.
and but my brother came home, my brother Emil, and he had a Goya, a nylon string Goya, and he had a banjo, and he was taking lessons from a guy who lives in California now, a guy named Benji Aronoff, and he was one of the original Kicking Mule record artists.
Oh yeah.
And Max Aronoff was his father, and he was the first chair, a violinist for the New York Symphony, and he started the New School of Music in New York. And I'm saying this without really knowing the whole history, but Benji, I know, didn't want a part of that, and he studied with Reverend Gary Davis, and so when I started taking lessons, it all started from me going up to my brother's room when he came home. I'd sneak in, I'd take his tablatures, and I'd learn them before he did it. And I come home, he'd come home from work, and I'd listen to him, and he'd play something, and I'd say, Emil, you didn't get that passage right. And he'd say, God damn it, Eric, you were up in my bedroom. And that lasted for about 8 months, and then he just gave up, and then he gave me his guitar, and I started taking lessons from Benji. But what was so cool about that was, like, I was a sponge, number one, but I was taking lessons from someone who studied with Gary Davis.
Yeah, right.
And I was a kid, and I did that, and then after that, there was just a whole slew of different guitarists. Later on, there was a dear friend of mine named Danny Starobin, which was another New York Jewish guitar player who studied with Gary Davis too. But he taught me more of the idiosyncrasies that Benji didn't show me as a kid, because I couldn't stretch my thumb over to play a C note, and stuff like that,
Yeah.
a wraparound chord. So he taught me some more of those voicings. And in the meantime, where was I? I was like, I was 18, 19 years old, and fell in love with a girl, and she was a classical pianist, and she really taught me everything. Margaret Lee was her name, and she was, but she got me into music school, and I couldn't get into music school playing classical guitar, so I got in as a voice major. And she said, well, we'll get you in, just like, so I got in as a voice major, believe it or not.
And where are we in time at this point? You're how old at this point?
I'm 19, 20.
19, 20
years
gotcha.
old.
Okay, gotcha.
20 years old. And so I got into music school, and after a couple semesters, I immediately changed my major to aural theory, solfege, do, re, mi.
Solfege, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think that way now. I still think that way. And I think the most influential person after taking all the classes I could in solfege was a woman named Ethel Pons. And she was part of a vaudeville act called the Pons Sister. Super hip, and she played with the Cincinnati Symphony. She was very much like Mary McPartland, even in her attitude. And I still remember I had rudimentary piano skills. And we sat down, and she had a piece of, we had a sheet, we had to use 8 staff manila double staff paper. I had to use a certain type paper. I had to have a number 2 automatic pencil, a pink pearl eraser, and a clear ruler. And what was so hip about it was my first lesson. We were sitting at the piano, and she says, well, for God's sakes, child, write something. And then I just kind of sat there. I didn't know what she wanted. And then she said, oh, for God's sakes. And she put in the bass clef, she put 2 measures, and the measures went like this, and D went like this. That's all it did. She says, come back next week, write something on top of this. And what happened with that was amazing, because she turned the sheet into a palette. Anything could go. There was no rules, except that if my notes didn't line up, the lesson was over.
Yeah.
So she says, anything is legit just as long as you document it. You had to document it. And then, so she taught me how to score And then I asked her things like, well, what makes a good song, Mrs. Bentley? And she says, well, for me, it's a song that you can repeat exactly note for note. Well, she taught me mathematics too, because then she took out fake books and showed me like, oh, 16 measures, 32 measures,
Yeah.
first and second endings, things I never even thought about, as like a self-taught guitarist, right?
Right.
And then he says, okay, what makes a good piece of music for me, Eric, is if you can repeat something 15 times exactly the same way. And then if you remember it the next day, write it down, because then you might have something worthwhile. So writing that, it was just like, oh my God, I get it. She turned the sheet music into a palette. And then, like my typical self, I went overboard and I wrote a suite for flute, guitar, and bass.
Right out of the gate.
And right out of the gate was the first thing. But and it's the same way as I am now as a control freak. I wrote everything out for the bass. I wrote every note out for the flute, everything. And you can hear that if you go to my YouTube channel. There's two songs on there. One is the suite itself called Strike, which I might play tonight. I still play it. And it was called the Strike Suite, which is about fly fishing. And there's another piece called Progress Within. Two pieces for flute, guitar, and bass. So that was really amazingly helpful. And then after that, finger picking kind of overtook. And it's funny, but my first label that I was on, because I was songwriting too, I had moved to Chicago. Okay, so I'm 28. And the first label I got on was, I never liked to listen to myself play guitar. But I had a whole log of music, of instrumentals that I had written. But the first record label I signed with, which was called Water Dog, was owned by the guys who have Styx, the Chicago pop group, right?
Oh yeah, sure. Tommy, what's his name? Yeah.
Right, and they wanted it because of two songs that I wrote. One called Her Grace and one called More Reasons Than Stars. And so, but after all that, because it was like a fish out of water, I had met Duck Baker, I guess, in 87, 88. And Duck Baker turned my music on to Peter Finger, who came and stayed with me, and we did a little tour here in the Midwest. And then he put out my first record, which was all instrumental. Yeah.
I'd love to hear you and Peter Finger on a bill together. Wow, holy smokes. My brain would explode.
We just did a tour together, the International Guitar Night Tour back in 2019. So that was great. That was my last real big 2020. That was, I guess, 2020. That was fantastic.
They all run together, don't they? These
years. That was 2019. It was 2019. It was October, November 2019.
Got it. Geez, wow. You said you might play Strike. Is that on tonight's playlist? A real early thing of yours?
Sure. I'll do that for you. Yeah,
all
absolutely. Wasn't expecting that, but I will do that.
If it's not on the list, no worries. It's just.
I'm going to try my best.
Well, all right. Holy smokes. Take your time, Eric. I'm just applauding for all the other people that are at home applauding that you can't hear. You can hear me maybe. Wow. Wonderful, wonderful piece.
Did that come off all right? That was kind of the edited version, but that was pretty much it, I think. Yeah.
It sounded like all the parts to me, Eric.
Well, if you go to my YouTube page, you can hear it played with the flute and with the bassist.
Wonderful.
It's a cut of it, yeah.
Can you tell us about your guitar as well? We have lots of questions about what that is you're playing exactly.
Well, this is Kevin Ryan. About 20 years ago, I had this idea. I like 12-string guitars, but I find that they're limited. They limit the kind of repertoire you can play because you can't articulate the higher notes. So I purchased a B1225 for basically nothing, $250. But I invested in getting a new nut and saddle and bridge put on it. And the first and second string were bone cables. They were thick gauge, medium gauge, but they were single. My G string was unison, and then everything else was an octave: the D, the A, and the E. And it was such a great guitar. Just because my concept worked, because I could, like, it sounded like a 12 string. But then you listen to it carefully, and then you can articulate more jazz lines and stuff. And I can show that off a little bit later. But I told Kevin Ryan about it. I didn't think anything would come out of it. Because he's made two other instruments for me. And the response was this overboard. He says, Eric, I hate getting ideas from people, but this is such a great idea. And then he made this for me. And it's an EL10, and he's using this now as a one of the. You can get this option of the 10-string neck on the instrument. So you asked me if I build guitars. I don't build guitars. It's like the kiss of death for a guitarist. I think I like people building guitars for me.
Yeah.
And
amen. Ooh.
And so this is a heck of a guitar to get, and so I've been working hard at trying to, develop a rapport and a repertoire with it, a personal rapport with it, and there you have it.
Right, and
So
that was standard tuning, was it, Eric?
No, that was in drop D.
Was that drop D?
I tuned this guitar down a half step though. I tuned generally down a half step to facilitate my voice too.
Got it. Right. And what are the woods on that? Just because I'm nosy and want to know.
Adirondack top, and just a regular rosewood side and back.
Rosewood.
Indian rosewood side and back. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, sounds delicious.
But he really did a wonderful design option with the neck. If you can see that, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
There we go.
6 and 4. Beautiful.
6 and 4, right.
Just lovely.
Thank you. I'm glad it's coming across well because I just don't have any idea if it is.
We're doing fine. What else are you going to play for us? Good heavens.
Well, gosh, you got me doing Strike of all things.
How about that?
And I will. Wow. I like folk music so much. I'm going to do something from, I did a tribute to Reverend Gary Davis. I did an album, and he was called The Rev. And I did an album, and I called it Revision. And that's Revision right there.
Very
it's
good.
Hard. Can you see that?
Yes, indeed. You bet we can.
Oh, I can't see it, but goddamn it.
Right there. There you go.
Revision. And I wanted a treat because I guess the there's so many people out there, Stevie, that are purists, and I could be a purist, but I just didn't have that in me. I don't think anybody can sing like him, but I can't really think of anybody who had more influence on acoustic guitar, even more so than Leo Kottke. I mean, Eric Clapton, the Rolling Stones, Peter, Paul, and Mary, Woody Guthrie, just to scratch the surface, all, the Stones all played his music. So a guy from a blind black man from South Carolina who is a street musician in Harlem, to think that he had so much influence on the acoustic guitar world.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to treat him like a jazz great and a teacher. And so what I did with this album is, in many cases, I borrowed the first pass. I would do exactly like he did, and then I'd open it up and kind of formulaically. But I'm going to do one of my favorite pieces from that album, and I think this is a beautiful piece. I'll do this one. This is a long piece. It's quiet. It's slow. I hope that's all right.
That's perfectly fine. Of course it is.
And maybe I'll end with another one of his that's faster. But this one, the last song he wrote was I Will Do My Last Singing in This Land. And I was always blown away by that, because you could actually, it was, I guess, about 6 months before he died, was Report Folk Festival, and you could hear him crying at the same time as singing the words, his live recording. So I'm going to do that for you right now. This is I Will Do My Last Singing in This Land.
Very good. Folks, you're watching Eric Lugosch.
Thank you.
Lovely, lovely thing. Good heavens. I thought I
Thank you,
detected a
brother.
bit of Bach in there at the outset. There was,
Well, I figure they're both hanging out.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Little Jesu joy in there for a moment at the outset, near the outset. Very cool, beautiful stuff, Eric.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say that.
You know, there's a couple of people I'm going to send this video on over to that are also Reverend Gary Davis fans. Frank Fatuski, a fellow out east called Frank Fatuski, and a gal up in Pacific Northwest called Mary Flower. That,
Oh, I know
I'm sure
Mary.
will love to hear you play this stuff again, you bet.
Yeah, man. Yeah, why don't I'll play you some new stuff if that's okay.
Sure.
This is called, this is brand new. I'll see how it goes. This is called A Gentleman Farmer.
That's highly danceable. That's wonderful.
It's called The Gentleman Farmer.
The Gentleman Farmer.
The
Get the
Gentleman
imagery.
Farmer, right.
That's great. That's great. Paints a picture. It really does. Now, are you going to sing something for us tonight, Eric? You mentioned your stint as a choir, a Philadelphia choir boy.
Yes, I will. I'm going to play a Billie Holiday piece for you. I love Billie Holiday, and I kind of changed the background a little bit of it, and we'll see if you recognize it. Let me get a sip of water.
Of course, I'll have one too. A sip of water.
That's the base.
That's right.
It's
in
not
there.
a lie.
Oh, golly. Oh, gotta be good for you. Kill some germs.
Yeah, let's see if you all recognize this. You probably do.
Folks, here's Eric Lugosch again.
Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible says, and it still is news. Mother may have, father may have too, but God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own. Well, the strong gets more while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets don't ever make the grade. Mother may have, the father may have too, but God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own. Money, you've got lots of friends crowding around your door. When you're lost and spending it, you know they won't be back for more. Rich relations give you crust of bread and such. You can help yourself, just don't take too much. Mother may have, father may have too, but God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own. Money, you've got lots of friends crowding around your door. When you're lost and spending it, you know they won't be back for more. Rich relations give crust of bread and such. You can help yourself, just don't take too much. Mother may have, father may have too, but God bless the child who's got his own. God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own.
Oh, fantastic. I'll wait till you get your headphones on. There, now I can clap. So now that you got your headphones on so you can hear that I'm
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Subbing in for lots of other people. There's a gentleman online here named Emil who says, Rana and I are watching.
That's my brother. He's the one
That's
who
the
taught
guy.
me how to play guitar.
That's the guy right there. Thank you, Emil. Thank you. Lovely. And he says, show the hand more. I don't know if he's talking to you or to me, but it sounds like a guitarist talking, whoever it is.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Emil has to, what he's saying, but that's okay. Thank you, Emil.
There you go.
Thanks for staying up this late.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm probably going to be moving these shows to a little earlier in the evening to accommodate folks that are not on the West Coast. We're so parochial out here. We figure, 7:30 is perfect, but that puts it at after East Coast midnight. So we're going to switch that around probably. Eric, have you got one or two more for us? This is fantastic. I'm really enjoying this.
Well, listen, man, I really enjoy your program, Stevie, and I really am honored that you asked me to be on the. So I hope we see each other in person. I can get to play at Mighty Fine Guitars again.
That'd be
down
terrific.
The line.
You bet.
Yeah, I'm going to do a song. This is also a new arrangement of. I'll do this, and then I'll do. I'll do a traditional folk song from the very early 20th century, and then I'll do an original after that. But this is Georgia on My Mind.
Oh, terrific! Great, great. I should
Okay.
say so. Getting some lovely comments here on YouTube and Facebook, Eric. Folks are having a great time. This is lovely.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, Stevie, because you really you got. I'm not blowing smoke your direction, but you got the finest, most interesting show I think
Well,
out
thank you.
there.
Thank you. I just know where to look for talent. That's lucky me. I've just met a lot of you folks on the road, or you've come and visited me at the shop and played there. That's and I've listened to records and stuff for years and years for a lot of you folks that have graced these little webcasts.
So now that I got this stage, I want everybody to open up their window and scream, "I can't take this anymore!" Right,
Network.
right, network, right. Now what I'm going to do right now is, I love traditional music. Matter of fact, my brother Emil, I'll play a piece that one of the first pieces I arranged, but I'm going to do one of the traditional pieces I'm going to dedicate right now. Do I have time for three more or not?
Yeah, three's good. Yeah, let's do three. Sure.
Okay. This one is written by a national folk hero named Arista Carpi. He was a violinist in Italy. He was on the same level as O'Carolan was. He wrote so many songs that he didn't even have names for them. And this piece I heard on an old record. He played with his two sons. His one son played the bass, the other played the drum. Not the drums, but the drum. And very out of tune, but this is a waltz that he wrote. This is on my album Son. I got to give Joe Miller a call out on this. Joe Miller was the one who told me he put together a CD of music of mine. Oh, there it is. It's called Son. And he called it the Sunny Guitar of Eric Lugosch. I still don't have it in the right way, do I? There we go. There it is. I can't, it's hard because everything is delayed. And
Yeah, there you go. That's looking good.
there it is. There. I wrote three pieces, two of which I wrote for the piano and the guitar, duets. And this one piece is on there as well as the Beatles song we opened up with, I Will. But this is simply called Walzer, which means waltz in Italian. And it's such a happy piece. And I played in a place called Carbondale, Illinois.
Carbondale, Illinois, sure.
Right in the middle of farm country. And what was great about it is these guys, this family came out. They were still in their overalls to hear the show. You might have heard of a gentleman named Chris Valillo. He ran this program. He still does for years. And they came out, and the next night I was playing 25 miles away at this other place, and they came out and they said, "Hey, would you play that? We came out to hear you play that Italian song again." So it's a folk song, and it's a little instrumental, and it's written, which is strangely enough, it's in three parts, and which is actually more South American, but it was Arista Carpi was Italian, and as far as I know, he never visited South America. So this is called Walzer.
Walzer, very good, cool.
Walzer, yeah. It will make you smile.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I can hear you.
There you go. You made us smile. You were absolutely right. I could have sworn it wouldn't, but it did. It made us smile a lot. And in fact, we did our little dance, right here in our chairs. It was wonderful.
That's a great piece of music. I love playing that piece of music. I really do.
It's wonderful.
Thank
And
you.
once again, just so I can jot it down this time, who wrote that one?
Arista,
Arista
Arista Carpi, Carpi.
Carpi. Very good. Thank you.
Yep. I'll send you a copy of the CD, Stevie.
I'll fix your wagon. I'll send you a copy of a CD.
My oldest brother was so instrumental in my music education, and he had an H. DeWick banjo, and he frailed. Benji taught him how to frail. And he started playing this song called The 8th of January.
Right.
And I loved it. He played it with a mute, thank God. No, it was a very delicate song. Frailing, it's a beautiful little piece. And it was one of the first pieces that I ever, this came out after the Strike album. It came out with Black Key Blues. But it was one of the first pieces that I arranged. And, it's a fiddle dance tune. And presumably written on the battlefield by, someone who was fortunate enough to survive the battle. I brought something here too. I'm from Chicago, and I'm going to show you this. Can you see this picture here? Let me see if I can get it.
Yeah, that's pretty good right there.
Right. Let me see. Yeah. Can you see it? Really see it? It's a beautiful picture by my friend Laura Ham, and it's trees in on the lakefront encrusted in ice. And people always think that I got this as a beautiful picture, but no, it's a warning. It's a warning that not to move to Chicago unless you want that to happen in June.
Now they tell
So
me.
now they tell me, right.
What tuning are you swinging into there, Eric?
G6.
G6? Very good.
You got those two little bass strings, but you still got the lexicon of chord shapes that you're familiar with.
Exactly, righto.
And So this is I'll do these two last numbers for you. And this is really a, what is it? It's something to my brother Emil, who's on here right now. And because it was such an important song, and this is the 8th of January, and it was inspired by him.
Oh,
And
cool. All right.
here we go, man. Here we go.
This one's for you, Emil. So listen up, brother.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks,
wonderful.
Stevie.
That's wonderful.
Thank you, man.
Eric Lugosch, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Valerie and I are just smiling ear to ear.
I thank you.
You got a lullaby
Yeah,
for us? Was that a lullaby to send us off to bed with?
No, I'm gonna do something original that people had asked me to play, and I'm gonna do the Cajun Cook.
Oh,
I wrote
excellent.
this initially before even Peter Finger was on Black Key Blues. I recorded it with a woman named Pauline Keneally, and she was one of the original cast members with Riverdance.
Oh yeah.
And we recorded this as a duet, and actually it was in Fingerstyle Guitar Magazine a long time ago production. So the first time it was published was with her on step dancing and me on the guitar. So it was, she sounded like a trap set. She was amazing. And to do it, I still remember we had practiced it, and the whole thing was set, and because she couldn't do it standing up, but she had to hold herself up on a piano bench, and and I played her part, and there was a microphone underneath the seat. But
Fantastic.
that was in the 13th issue of because that was the first issue I was in of Fingerstyle Guitar, and maybe Bill Pyburn will publish that again, but that's with the feet. And then, but Peter Finger didn't want that. He just wanted a solo version of it. So that's what I'm going to play for you right now. This is called the Cajun Cook.
Very good. We had requests for this on this end too. Terrific.
Okay, Matt. Thanks again.
That was fantastic, Eric. That was just fantastic. Is there any chance we could get you back before the end of the year for another one of these little extravaganza?
No, absolutely.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. One way or the other, live or
Right.
Memorex.
Remember, this is June.
I understand. Holy smokes. I won't show you a picture of what it's like here now. It's
Yeah, I know. My friend has a vegetable garden growing. He was talking about his figs and his snap peas. So
yeah, right.
we're
It's,
eating canned goods here.
Cans and all. Yeah.
Right.
Here's what it looks like here right now, Eric.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Hate to bum you out.
Yeah.
That's Valerie's garden right there. Well, one more time, thank you very much, folks. Even where you are, send a good vibe to Eric. Eric Lugosch has CDs, and he's got a website, and all the info is there. If you've gotten turned on to him tonight for the first time, head on over there and scoop up some CDs. If you have holes in your Eric Lugosch collection, scoop them on up there. They're for sale off his website, I'm sure. And
Yes.
one way or the other, Eric, we hope to see you sooner than later.
Oh, Stevie, I'll stay in touch, and I thank you so much for having me on the show, and everybody who came out tonight. I hope that everybody enjoyed it. I certainly did.
They absolutely did. Lots of nice comments. All right.
Okay, brother.
See you down the road. Thank you, Eric.
Bye-bye.
How about that? Well, folks, here's one last glimpse of the tip jar info. And please know that all donated monies will be split between me and Eric. And yes, every little bit helps. No donation too small or too large. Next week, something different. A duo. Wow. He's so good. He's so good. So intensely musical. It's ridiculous to refer to a musician as musical, but there you are. He is. Eric was just tremendous. Just love that stuff. Next week, something slightly different from the previous. We've branched out a little bit into the realms of vaudeville, and I'm going to talk to Eric some more about that because I've got a grandmother in vaudeville, and he's got vaudeville roots as well. We've got a duo next week. Sylvia Harold and Chuck Irvin. Y'all might know them from one of the others. There are many permutations. Cats and Jammers, the Hot Club of San Francisco, Wake the Dead, the Lone Star Retrobates, the Sons of the Pioneers maybe even. Vintage vocals is what some would call their style. But that's only the tip of the proverbial iceberg. It really is. Their guitar and bass work shines very brightly as well. So something for everyone next week, Monday night. Going to see if we can move things up to 6 o'clock Pacific time next week. So stay tuned and keep an eye on things on the Stevie Coyle music page and the Stevie Coyle website and the all places Stevie Coyle will have information. But we might be moving the show up to 6 o'clock Pacific next week and from there on out, just so that we can get our folks on the East Coast into these things a little more easily. On into the spring and summer, speaking of which, you'll find fingerstylers Mark Lemaire, Michael Chapdelaine, Kinlaw Nelson, Nate Lopez, Vicky Genfan, Peppino D'Agostino, cast of thousands. It's just, going to be moderately fantastic if I do say so myself. So, thank you, Eric Lugosch. Oh, sorry, wrong button. There we go. Thank you, Eric Lugosch. Thank you, Sammy Spear and his orchestra. Thank you, the June Taylor Dancers, and mostly huge thanks to executive producer, my own dear Miss Valerie May. Good night, America, and good afternoon tomorrow, Australia. That still freaks me out.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.
Make love with a guitar if you should meet a sweet senorita. Romance with a guitar, and when you find her, the strings will bind her. Make love with a guitar, always the right time, daylight or night time. Ah, she'll not withstand it, and as I planned it, she'll say, I love you. On my guitar, I strike a chord like this, it always brings a kiss. I never miss. Speaking of love, you can go very far, no matter who you are, if you play a guitar, if you play a guitar. I always get a kiss, I never miss. You can go very far, no matter who you are, if you play a guitar. Make love with a guitar, always the right time, daylight or night time. Oh, she'll as I planned it. She'll say